Hey, what is up, mortals? Here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 9 season 2 of What If Deku Had Venom. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, we begin. A couple of days had passed since the event at Hasu. Izuku, Shoto, and Ida were reprimanded for their actions against Stain, but they were praised by the chief of police for the fact they managed to defeat the villain Stain. The chief explained how the credit would go to Endeavor. There weren't enough witnesses to report their actions, which meant that the incident could be covered up. The boys knew the predicament they were in. They were aware of their illegal actions, so they didn't argue against it. Once the week ended, it also meant it was the end of the class's workplace training. Izuku had more of a craving for chocolate ever since he first used that power-boosting ability. He was still curious about that ability and how he couldn't move his body afterwards. Venom wasn't much help either. Venom was still learning about it as well. When the trio made it back to school, they became the center of attention for most of the class due to their encounter with Stain. When they tried asking about it though, Shoto refused to tell the class what really happened, especially the part about where Stain suddenly gained a quirk similar to Izuku. Instead, he lied. Endeavor saved us. Before the students could further their conversation, All Might appeared in the classroom. He went on to explain what they would all be doing today. A rescue operation of the sorts. It would be a race to meet him at the center, and there would be 4 groups of 5. Each student would race each other through a construction site. It would require them to be creative with their abilities and find different ways to use them to the situation they were being put in. Izuku was put into a group with Shiro, Mina, Tenya, and Ajiro. Most of the class already felt that Shiro and Izuku held a major advantage in such an environment. They felt that Shiro held the edge though, as his quirk was more adjusted to being able to swing through the air. Sort of like that one web-slinging hero in North America. This should be easy, Venom stated. What makes you think so? Izuku asked. We produce organic webs. We can literally just use those webs to swing from pipe to pipe until we reach All Might. Izuku could practically feel Venom mentally facepalming. He looked forward and prepared to launch a web, but he concentrated a little more than usual in order to build up his webbing a little different from usual. Once All Might announced for them to start, Izuku launched a web that stuck to one of the pipes. He used it as a vine this time around and swung into the air. He shot another web in order to swing off of. Rinse and repeat. Izuku couldn't believe he never tried doing such a thing like this before. It felt so exciting. Hey, partner, focus. Shiro's catching up to us. Oh, I completely forgot about the exercise. Izuku managed to get to All Might first, but he was able to claim first by the skin of his teeth. He became distracted earlier testing out that web-slinging ability. It was really useful and exhilarating. All Might praised Izuku for his intuitive thinking, and everyone was surprised to see Izuku use his webs in such a way. Izuku chuckled, explaining that it was really more of Venom who told him about it. He never really thought about it beforehand. You still did good, Izuku, especially for your first time using your webs like that. Don't sell yourself short, All Might stated. Meet me in my office after class is over. There are some things I'd like to discuss with you. Sure thing, All Might. When Izuku went to All Might's office after school, he found the man in his skinny form. You said you had a couple of things to discuss with me? Yes, have a seat, Izuku. I'm not sensing any bad vibes from him. Izuku, relax. One of the first things I would like to discuss with you is your quirk. It's not really a quirk, is it? Izuku froze when he heard the question. How did All Might find out that Namu back at the USJ possessed similar abilities to your quirk? On top of that, when you lent me your quirk in order to fight the behemoth, they appeared to be sentient. I've met people with sentient quirks in the past, but usually they are completely attached to their user, such as Takoyami and his Dark Shadow. I've never encountered any like yours though, where it can function when completely separated from the quirk user. It's alright, Izuku. You can tell him. Looking back at what we know from him so far, it seems like we can trust him. See, can you keep a secret? Izuku asked. Before we get back into the video, let's hear a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Comax Customs, a brand new clothing line made for the wearer. Comax Customs puts the customer first, offering a variety of clothing options ranging from casual to business casual. If you're looking for comfortable, easy-fitting clothing at low prices, check out Comax Customs today. All Might nodded. I pinky promise you that I won't tell a soul. Izuku went on to explain how Venom, his quirk, was actually an alien that gave him the powers he was able to display throughout the school year. He looked at All Might to see his reaction to all of this information. I see. Well, that certainly is one of the weirdest things I've heard in a while, but it seems plausible, especially with 2 cases of lookalikes. Well, that could be from Venom being experimented on, hence why we want to keep this a secret. That actually explains a lot. Since you told me your secret, I'll tell you mine. I was originally quirkless. What, you see? I was born quirkless, but somebody gave me the quirk you see me display today. The name of my quirk is called One for All, and it's been passed down for generations now. I was the 8th wielder of One for All. Was? Izuku questioned. Yes, was. I found a successor in the form of one of the 3rd years at UA. Oh, how nice. But may I ask, why are you telling me this? You see, young Midoriya, I would like for the two of you to meet and train with each other soon. The two of you could learn a lot from each other. In my humble opinion, at least. Sounds pretty good to me. We told him our secret. He told us his. Now we can even learn how to use that new ability against a sparring partner. Someone who actually has All Might's quirk. Oh, speaking of quirks though. How much time do you have left, All Might? Venom did say they were able to heal some of your injury. All Might chuckled a little. Well, you see, thanks to your friend, I was able to discover that I could hold my muscle form for about a third of the day now. Gee, that's great news, All Might. Izuku cheered. Before they knew it, the end of term exams were coming up. Many of Class 1A already stressed over the paper tests, but they also had to worry about the physical exams. Izuku was discussing the exams with Uraraka, Ida, Shoto, Tsuyu, and Hagakure about how they would perform until a blonde boy bumped into Izuku. Huh? Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. You all are from Class 1A, aren't you? Yeah, and what about it? I figured. I especially recognized 3 of you from the news articles about Stain's capture. Congratulations. You 3 who were involved in Stain's capture managed to garner even more attention towards your class. But watch out, because one day Class 1B will get involved in an event so grand that all attention will be set to Class 1. Before the boy could finish, a girl with a ponytail walked up to him and karate chopped him in the neck. It immediately knocked him out cold. Sorry about that. Monoma here can be a real handful sometimes. The girl went on to explain that her name was Itsuka Kendo and that she overheard them talking about the physical exams. She explained that one of the 3rd years informed her about how the physical exam was going to be a battle simulation, similar to the one at the entrance exam for the majority of the hero students. Izuku and the rest of the group were rather grateful for the information. They went on to inform the rest of the class about this. The most appreciative of the class were Mina and Kaminari. All of the students of Class 1A were studying rigorously during the final week before the entrance exam in order to make sure they at least managed to get a decent score on the exam. It was incredibly stressful for many of Class 1A. Something that helped them during the process, though, was that Momo offered her assistance in the classes studying for the upcoming exam. Through the help of Momo Yaoyorozu, all of Class 1A was able to pass their written exams. Everyone was ecstatic about the news and that their effort was not in vain, although a few just managed to slip by. The class wasn't worrying over the physical exam either, as they knew it was going to be similar to the entrance exam. They were much more adept with their quirks now, so they envisioned the physical exam to be a piece of cake. Once the day of the physical exam finally arrived, Class 1A was found standing outside parallel to many of their teachers. Now, I imagine all of you are aware of what the physical exam is like. Aizawa guessed. Yeah, we're going to be destroying more giant robots. Mina exclaimed. Not quite. This threw the class for a loop. If they weren't going to be fighting robots, then what were they going to be doing instead? This was when Nedzu, a talking animal of an unidentified species and the principal of UA, appeared out of Aizawa's scarf. The man just sighed at the higher-ups' actions due to the sudden surge of criminal activity this year. Your teachers and I discussed better training regimens for you all. There was a bit of disagreement about the way we should do it at first, but we were able to come to an agreement. So, in conclusion, you will not be battling villain robots this time around. Instead, you will be battling the teachers at UA, and from now on, you will have more real-life battle simulations. You should be happy. Your class will be the first ones to experience such a thing. Works for us. Before Izuku could even argue with Venom, Aizawa spoke again. Oh yeah, you all will work in pairs for this exam and either capture or escape us teachers. The pairs were already predetermined, same for which teacher you'll face. All of the students were split into teams of 2 and were informed of which teacher they'd be facing. Shoto and Momo would be facing Eraserhead in particular. Izuku and Katsuki would be facing All Might. Okay, we might have a bit of an issue there. Izuku gulped, especially knowing that this was a stronger All Might he'd be facing, not the watered-down All Might who was struggling back at the USJ against that symbiote-enhanced Namu. Bakugo looked at Izuku with complete disdain in his eyes. Don't get in my way, Deku. Bakugo snarled. He's a serious problem child. The class and teachers were brought to an uninhabited city where they would be conducting their physical test. They were given designated areas and the test was explained further in depth. The students had a time limit of 30 minutes. Each pair of the students could win through 2 ways. The first was to handcuff the teachers. The second one was to have at least one of the teammates make it to the exit, effectively escaping the battlefield. by accomplishing either one of these conditions, they would pass the assignment to make it more fair to the students as well. All of the teachers will be wearing compact weighted bracelets. So tell me, you zygotes, are you ready to lose? All Might's whole aura changed after that statement. Izuku's spider sense was going nuts. Izuku's knees started to buckle together. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.